Welcome in, fellow hackers, campers. We're going to talk about URL hacks in this one for your Drive files. No, we are not talking about cybersecurity where people have hacked into your Drive and are maliciously disfiguring your files here. So no worries there. We're just going to show you some quick tips and tricks to adjust the URL of your file type so that you can accomplish different goals with the link that you then share with other users. All right, so we're going to look at how to replace a word edit with a couple other keywords here. But we're going to first look at your URL bar or the Omnibox for each of your Drive files. So notice each Drive file will start with something like docs.google.com. It's got all your codes there for your specific file type. But we're going to look all the way to the right of the URL, and we're looking for the word edit. Okay, so typically, let me open this other slide deck that I recently had open. And kudos to you if you watched both of the Paul videos here in this choice board. You notice that my shirt is now reading the correct way instead of backwards. But anyway, that's just me figuring out the camera here. But again, at the top, when you're editing a file, you're going to see that it ends with /edit, and then it'll have other gobbledygook after that. But that is what we're looking for within the URL so that we can hack it or transform it into other types of links. So I'm going to click into the Omnibox once there. You're going to notice the entire URL has lit up blue. I'm going to then use my right arrow key on my keyboard to move the cursor all the way to the right. And then I'm going to highlight everything up until the word edit, leave the slash and everything else to the left. But now the word edit and everything to the right is going to disappear. So I'm going to hit backspace or delete. And now I'm going to show you what each of those other word options will do once you add that in and hit enter on your keyboard. So the first one here is the word copy. If I hit copy or type in copy and hit the enter key, there we go. It's going to transform my editable document into just a force copy link. So chances are you have seen this before if you are looking at blogs and people are sharing templates with you. You get a chance to make your own. They usually use this hack to keep you from requesting access and bugging their email. It's quick, it's effective. It'll definitely help you to get your own copy very fast. But I just think it's a little impersonal and you don't get a chance to really see what it is before you make a copy of it. So I'm going to show you how to do that as opposed to this. But again, if you're wondering how they did that, that's how they do it. They change the word edit to copy, and then they send you that link. The next one that you can do is you can replace the word edit with the word preview. Now this works really well for slides because it puts your slide deck in presentation mode automatically. So now people can toggle through my slides without having edit access or seeing any of the formatting toolbars. If you do this in any other file type, like sheets, docs, drawings, no, not sites, but the other main ones here, what that effectively does too is it removes all those formatting tools so that you only see the file itself. So with Google Docs, when you do this, it typically makes it look like it's its own website, which is really cool, and another hack, if you will, for making a simple doc look like a website. All right, so that's preview. Now, earlier we talked about this one being a little more impersonal with just the stark white page saying make a copy before you get to see it. But if you want to be able to preview it first, select the word edit and put in template/preview instead. So what's great about this one is I can see the full slides, I can toggle through them, and then I can hit the blue use template if I do now want a copy of it after having seen it. Okay, so I like to see things before I buy it, right? All right, so those are the different hacks here for your URL. Now I want to take a quick deep dive into a file itself. And look, it got me backwards again. There we go. Dunder Mifflin. All right. But this next one here, we're going to talk about some hacks that you can do to the version history within a single Drive file. So let me clear out some of these extra tabs here real quick. And I'm going to go back to my edit one, hopefully. Another thing you can do too is reverse any of these hacks. Go in and just switch out that word. So I'm switching edit in for copy. So that takes me back to my regular editable document. right, now to get to revision history, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can go to File, Version History, and then See Version History. Or you wait for this other little circle swoop with a clock in it icon. That also will open your revision history. We're waiting for it to load here. There we go. So see this one right here? You can click on that and it's going to open your version history. Now, the great thing about Google Drive and sharing or saving everything to the cloud, as long as you've got a really solid Wi-Fi connection, is it keeps track of all of those minuscule little edits, right? It gets really granular with, all right, here's where you put a space here, or here's where you added this letter. It gets that detailed. Now, if I'm designing something in slides, docs, sheets, whatever it is, and I get to a point where I think, all right, this is ready to ship. This is ready for other people to be able to use it if they want to. This is a template that I've now created. If I want to, I can go into version history here and I can name that last edit so that it essentially captures it in time as, okay, that was version 1 or 2 or whatever it is at that point. So let me show you what I mean here. So this, let's say I wanted to develop this as a template, and this last one here, I'm going to click on the timestamp because, again, every edit is timestamped. And let's say I now want to call this version 1. Okay. So I haven't really edited the file. I've only just named a version of it in the edit history here. Now, if I go back out by hitting the arrow here in the upper left corner, I can come in and I can do a whole bunch of edits. Let's say, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to move this over. I'm going to move this over. And now, ooh, look, I've done all this editing. It's different. So if I go back into version history, it's going to show version 1, which I had here. And then it's got this new version. So let's say I made a whole bunch of improvements after we've lived with it. Some people have tried it and given me feedback. Now I can call this new and improved one version 2. Okay. Now in the past with Google Docs or with regular docs like Word docs, people will just make a copy of something, right? Like I want to preserve the original one, but now I want to make some tweaks on a newer version of it. And before you know it, you have an entire folder full of all of these different docs that basically are the same, just with a few tweaks here and there. You don't want to take up storage with extra docs in your drive, so this is a great hack for keeping all of these different versions within one single doc, because the beauty of it is I can go in at any time. Oops. I can go in at any time and switch between the versions. So think of version history as your own little time machine where you can go forwards and backwards in time. Back to an edit that you are currently wanting to access or be able to use. So let's say after making all those edits, I wanted to go back to version 1. When I click on version 1, I can hit now the yellow button that says restore this version. So if that's the one that I want people now to see who have access to this file through a link, they're going to be able to use this one as opposed to another version. So a really great way to kind of hack the system, if you will, to have different versions of your file. All right, how many more times can I say version before this video is done? Yeah, I think it's done. All right, we'll see you guys on the next video.